I watched somebody have that same problem yesterday. The Action Network people were freaking out. They're like, it's scheduled, but it won't go live. It's scheduled, but it won't go live. What do we do? Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BETSPERTS. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christenson. Andy's still on vacation, but we have one more day with Mr. Perfect in hockey last night, Matt Rooney. Well done, sir. How does it feel to get the little sweep?
I'm perfect in hockey and action. Both the action ones hit pretty easily, too. I gave out Central Michigan as the plus 10.5 dog. They won outright. I think the Northern Illinois Kent State total was like finals like 52-49 or something like that. So that cleared that over 67.5 easily. I'm doing good. I'm feeling well, as good as anybody can be after going 4-0. And if you read the blog, like I tweeted at you last night, I gave out Alex DeBrincat first goal scorer at plus 1,400. That also 1,300. That also hit. So that was I wish I actually put the money down on that one, but I'll take the other four. I'll take the 4-0.
I was going to say, where are you going to dinner tonight? You got somebody to take out, get like a steak or something, a couple cocktails? I mean, you should be doing just fine.
Hit a steakhouse, right? Yeah.
I think.
How about yourself? How did our NBA bets do last night?
It was all right. A little up and down. I think we were 1-2 yesterday, something like that. Finally broke the win streak, but we continue forward. We got a bunch of fun stuff tonight. Action, again, like you said, was pretty good. We had hockey, no baseball. Dan got to take the night off, just enjoying. Was there anything else we missed that happened last night? I think those were all the sports.
I think we had it covered. I was at the Blackhawks game, so I wasn't paying too much attention to the rest of the sporting world.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it was. That's about all I can.
I love a live hockey game. All right, let's jump into tonight. And as much as this game felt to me like it had happened already, the Jets are playing the Colts. I don't know why that was my reaction, Matt, but when I pulled this up this morning and started looking into stuff, my immediate thought was, I think this already happened. But Mike White comes back, continues to be the Jets quarterback, the man that ruined all the survivor pools last week. Jets are catching 10 in Indianapolis. The money line, obviously a big money line there for the Jets. The total sitting at 45.5. Did you have any thoughts on this game, Matt? Do you think Mike White can shock the world again?
I kind of going back and forth. I think I'm leaning more towards an over or a Colts team total over. I think it's out of 28 on FanDuel. They've gone 30, 31, and 31 in their last three. Jets defensively are gettable. So I think that's kind of where I'm leaning here. I don't know. I think if I had to take a side, I'd probably lean with the Colts at home, laying the 10. I'd also see 10.5. I don't think I'd touch, or I'd buy the hook. But I think I like the Colts. I can't really trust Mike White yet. How about that? I don't think he's earned my full trust.
I agree with that. You see Patrick in the chat there. He likes the Mike White unders. I think that's a perfectly fine idea. People, I think, are obviously overreacting a little bit to his first game and whatnot. I was thinking about maybe an under here. It's going to be a Thursday night game. Those generally are very ugly, clunky games. The Jets coming off a big win like that. Again, as Patrick put up, they opened 259 on his passing props. 45-yard adjustment week over week, which is just absurd. But I thought maybe about an under here at 45. It just seems very high again for a Thursday night game with two teams that I don't mind running the ball, but we'll see kind of how it goes. Again, I'm expecting something kind of ugly. Nothing for you there. Here we go. Dan Wiener's going to go out a limb. He likes Mike White under 400 passing yards. I don't know what the juice is on that, Dan, but it's probably a pretty safe bet.
I did see a Jonathan Taylor 2+ touchdowns that it was right around plus 280. I think that might be something I sprinkle on if they're going to try and run the ball. It's Thursday night. I think you might see a little bit more of a ground game attack. That might be something I go after. But 10 points is a lot. You're probably right. The under is probably the play. I might sprinkle a little bit on the Colts team total over, but it's not a lot from these games, these props that are jumping out at me, other than maybe that Colts team total.
Well, Patrick setting up the nice segue there. He's ready for some first touchdown scorer bets, and not to ruin it for you here, Patrick, but I think you're going to get what you want. Of course, it is a primetime game, so we've got some first touchdown scorer bets. Another night of big numbers, and as I say most of the time, you look at the top of this market, Jonathan Taylor's like 3-1. All the Colts guys are at some very, very short numbers. It's really what happens when you're seeing a spread this big. The market overreacts a little bit in the first touchdown score market. But as you look through again, we continue to find value in quarterbacks and tight ends. We'll start with the Colts players I've got here. Carson Wentz, 20-1. He is somebody that definitely rushes more than this number would imply. He had 5 rushing touchdowns last year. He's got 1 already this year. The Jets, again, not the strongest defensive team in the world, and we'll have a lot of other things to worry about with Jonathan Taylor on the field, with all those wide receivers, Michael Pittman, Zach Pascal. Again, those are the guys at the top of the market, and they should be. But I think we'll see a chance with some of the RPOs, maybe get Wentz to sneak in here. 20-1 is the line. Go around. There's some prices worse than this. If you can't get 20-1, don't bet it. Anything lower than that, we're just not seeing enough value. As Patrick asked for, we've got some Cox here. Mola Ali Cox, 16-1. He's up to about 4 or 5 targets a game here over the last couple games, but also have Jack Doyle at 22-1. Both of these guys, again, Cox gets more targets in general, but when you get towards the red zone, inside the 5, inside the 10, inside the 20, these are the guys right behind Michael Pittman and Zach Pascal in terms of targets, and Doyle's actually pretty close. He actually gets a few more targets in the red zone. So happy to take both guys here. The Jets are a team that has given up quite a few touchdowns to tight ends already, so happy for that one. As we look at some of our Jets players, Ty Johnson, 23-1. Obviously Michael Carter is the lead back there. Had a fantastic week last week and is really kind of establishing himself there. But as you start to look, when they get down towards the red zone, their percentage of carries inside the 5 is exactly the same. Their percentage of carries inside the 10, Johnson's only a few points behind Michael Carter there. Inside the 20, they're pretty much the same. And for whatever reason, Johnson's a 23-1. You look at Michael Carter, he's down in the single digits. I think there's a lot of value there on the Jets' second back there. Elijah Moore, another Jets rookie who's really starting to take a step up. They slowly introduced him this season. They've been picking up his routes run have gotten more and more each week. He's picking up more and more targets, but this price continues to lag behind. He has gotten some nice targets in the red zone over the last few weeks. He was a particularly good target for Mike White last week, so hopefully he will be again. 29-1 looks like a great number for me. And as much as we're doing Mike White unders, it's a quarterback at 50-1 that seems like he's got some mobility and isn't afraid to run one in. I don't know that much about Mike White. I can't even tell you where he went to college. Well, actually, I can. He went to Central Michigan, didn't he? I saw that. Never mind. I did know that. But again, don't know a ton about Mike White, but at 50-1 in a game, the Colts, you look at it, they're not really thinking about this. They do give up some rushing touchdowns to quarterback. It's just a really nice price grab. So as much as I agree with you guys on the overall concept of Mike White unders, don't be afraid to try to see if he can hit the middle here. Get the touchdown first and hit all your unders anyway.
I'm a sucker for a plus 5,000 first touchdown score, but I feel like I almost always put a little bit on somebody at plus 5,000. But the bets I always like in these, and you seem to be on them most of the time, are the tight ends, especially a second tight end, because that's where you get a lot of value, and the backup running back, because who knows, who's going to be the pass catcher, who's going to get a spare carry in the red zone here or there. And I think that's where always kind of where those values lie. So I love the tight end plays. I love the backup running back.
Excellent. But keep going with some more stuff. The association continues. It is a Thursday night, TNT night here, so a little bit smaller of a slate, but a few things particularly interesting sticking out in the market. For starters, the Jazz. For some of you that monitor injury reports, I think at some point last night, someone over at RotoWire got their wires crossed, if you will, and listed Rudy Gobert out instead of Rudy Gay. If you go back and look, it was Rudy Gay's injury, it was Rudy Gay's timing, it was all the same stuff, but they put it after Gobert's name. And as a result, I think the market got a little freaked out last night. You had the Jazz actually as an underdog last night to the Atlanta Hawks. They're now here starting to move into being a favorite, but I have them as a pretty heavy favorite here, excuse me. Take a look at my model. I have them about a 2.5-point favorite, but that's before taking into account that the Hawks have one of the toughest schedule spots in the league so far this year. This is their third game in 4 nights. It's a back-to-back spot for them, and it is their 6th game in 9 nights. They've been trying to rest players every night. Again, a lot of guys played last night. I think we're going to see maybe Trae Young possibly take tonight off. I'm curious to see if John Collins plays tonight or takes off. There's definitely some chance that the Hawks rest some guys here. At the very least, if they do play, it's an incredibly fatigued team. And as much as I do hate going against Atlanta on home, I'm happy to take the money line at minus 125 and also the first quarter money line. taking a look at this, a lot of times these first quarter lines are a derivative of the full game line. So if you can find value in the full game line, you poke around. Sometimes the first half and first quarter has some value as well. And I see that here too. I have the Jazz -1.5 in this first quarter. So to be able to get the money line at -110 looks good. So sorry, producer Dan, we're going to go against your Hawks here. It's a tough schedule spot for them, but it's only one of 82 regular season games. You'll be fine. We're going with the Heat here. The Heat have been one of the best teams in the league so far. They're playing the Celtics, a team that I am happy to go against. The Celtics here on a back-to-back. They did snooker us last night, beat the Magic by more than 7 points, but I had to use up quite a bunch of minutes with some of their star players. This is just a really tough spot to come in. Being in Orlando, yes, it's a short travel spot, but having to play that game last night, going to Miami, and again, only be laying 6 points. I'm a little nervous here. The Celtics have taken some money. This was -7 this morning, but Boston tends to be kind of a public favorite. So maybe that's kind of what happening here. Happy to take the Heat -6. If the -7 pops again, that looks fine to me too. I have this out at 9.5, almost 10. Again, just before even thinking about the scheduling spot. And another first quarter play here, the Houston Rockets plus 3.5 there in the first quarter. There's some threes around. That number is fine too. Look around. You will be able to find a 3.5. Obviously, that's better than 3, but again, 3 is just fine. The Phoenix Suns, clearly the better team, laying a very big number tonight that I certainly think they can cover, but they've struggled to start all year. You look at some of their first quarters, they're really clunky. The Houston Rockets almost beat them the other night after kind of a very slow start there. So happy to grab the Rockets here. First quarter plus 3.5. I have this at +2. So a nice little edge there. A money line, 2 first quarters, and a favorite.
Unfortunately, unfortunately for producer Dan, I think I'm with you on the Jazz play there. I think that's I did not realize how much basketball the Hawks have played early on, and how kind of banged up they are and resting some players. I like that Jazz money line at just at -125. I think that's probably my TNT basketball play for the night after hearing you talk about it. Hockey play. Should I get into some hockey play? See if I can stay hot.
Might as well. Hey, let's keep the ball rolling.
Right? I'm the marquee game of the night. Actually, probably 2 of them. Those first 2 are the big games of the night. The Lightning, former Stanley Cup champions, at Toronto. Both teams playing really well after some slow starts. I believe both have won 3 in a row. I see some value here with the Tampa Bay Lightning, defending Stanley Cup champions, even though they're on the road, being an underdog at +118. I like rolling the dice with them. The Maple Leafs are playing better as of late, but they still have some holes in that game, and I still don't fully trust their goaltender in Jack Campbell. So I'm going to roll the dice with the Lightning there, being the road underdogs and the defending Stanley Cup champions. I'm also going to take your Philadelphia Flyers back in the Philly team tonight in their rivalry game with Pittsburgh. Not really sure why they're underdogs here, other than it's a road game. Pittsburgh's been without Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin all year. I believe Sidney Crosby just tested positive for COVID too, so he's going to be out quite some time. The Flyers have won 3 in a row. The Penguins, I believe, have lost 4 of 5. I know they're home in a rivalry spot here, but I really like the Flyers this year, so I'm going to feel comfortable backing them as road dogs there, getting plus odds on the road in a rivalry matchup. And then the Golden Knights, who were in the news yesterday for acquiring Jack Eichel, he's got to have neck surgery, so he's not going to be in the lineup for a while. But I like this over against Ottawa at over 5.5 at -120. Both teams struggling to score a little bit out of the gate, but been playing pretty brutal defense so far to start. Goaltending hasn't been the best from either. I think both are allowing right around 3.5 goals per game. I feel comfortable with Vegas's offense, Ottawa's offense. While they haven't been great, there are some explosive pieces there. Defense has been bad early on. I think that one could be like a 4-3, 5-3 type of game. So that's where I'm at with those 3 hockey plays. And if I go undefeated again tonight, if I go 3-0 after a 2-0 night and a 4-0, 2-0 yes, 4-0 with action, I won't come back tomorrow. But I saw in the comments.
You're coming back tomorrow.
Okay, then I'll come.
I'm going to make producer Dan carve out a minute or 2 for you.
I'll do a guest spot.
We're not taking you off the show until you lose a hockey bet.
I'll do a guest spot after the Bear. But I saw Alyssa in the chat there saying I should take her to dinner. If I win 3 more tonight, I will take you to dinner. How about that?
I like it. You should. You should.
I should.
There was a nice girl in there in the chat saying you should take her to dinner. I hope that's your plan.
That was Alyssa. That was my lovely girl.
Oh, that's lovely. Alyssa, yeah. He should take you to dinner. He'll figure that out. But
I'll figure it
out.
We'll get it done. Did we lose Alex? I think we lost Alex. See if we can get him back in here. I don't know his. I obviously cannot talk tennis. as much as Alex can. I think we might give it a minute here, and if not, I think we might just wrap up the show. Give it 5-7 seconds here. But I think Alex has Anderson -2 games at the WTA 125K Challenger Midland. I wish I could give you some analysis on that, but I cannot give you the analysis that Noops can. So maybe hop on over to your favorite book, WinBet, our preferred sponsor, and try and find that game. I'm going to guess that starts at some point soon because most tennis matches do. But that's all we got for today. Tomorrow we got the ESPN College Game Days, Chris Felica. It's going to be with producer Dan and Alex. Alex just messaged us saying his power turned off, so that's indeed going to be the show. He's not going to be here. Good luck with your bets, and enjoy the Bear tomorrow, Friday with the Bear. See you guys.